everybody. Welcome to our favorites.
Ouch, favorites.
Very smooth. Nicely done.
Smooth is not in Jared's name.
No, it's Jared,
Not Smoostra.
Okay.
That was so stupid.
I know.
But you know what is smooth? This transition into Jake's Top 10. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. If you've been staying with us, we have worked our way up into his number 4th pick. I knew that off the top of my head. Jared did not help me out with that.
No, you didn't.
I absolutely
I
did.
told you that before we started.
And I still forgot. But yes, then we have worked our way up to Jake's 4th favorite movie of all time. And it's a roar. Oh, it's a big roar. Jake, what is your 4th favorite pick of all
So
time?
we're into another week of me just being a basic bitch.
Listen, it is okay to have basic picks. It is okay.
Yeah, it's okay to
I have
your
comments
whole
regarding
list
that,
be-
but I'm just going to move through it. Yes, this is me being a basic bitch here. It is probably one of the
most popular movies.
most popular movies.
Not
one
called
of them,
Star Wars.
probably one of the most influential movies, at least for kids that, like me, grew up in the 90s.
Hey, we did too.
Kind of.
Little
Yeah.
bit.
A little bit.
Not really the same, but yeah.
No, but we still grew up in the 90s.
Anyway, the pick is Jurassic Park. The first one.
The only good. I cannot think of one.
That's
Yeah.
not true. The Lost World is okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
But then it all goes to hell.
Also,
Alan.
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 I like that third movie. It's dumb.
It's dumb,
It's
but
so
it's
much
like
fun.
at least it's fun dumb, unlike the preceding or the
I was gonna say,
Trilogy, the other trilogy.
ensuing.
hear me out. I've never seen the third Jurassic World, but the
It's
second one, Dominion,
awful.
I think, was the second
Dominion's the
one.
third one. The second one is Fallen Kingdom.
The second one is not that bad. I enjoyed the Fallen Kingdom.
It's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad. There are a couple moments, like the moment when you see the Brachiosaurus's shadow in the volcano, like that's cool.
And then the rest of the movie is crap.
Well, because I think the thing that best the Fallen King does is it goes back to the original, and it's actually a little scary.
I disagree with that, but okay. What's his name? Trevorrow?
Trevor.
Colin
Colin Trevorrow?
Trevorrow.
Trevorrow?
Yep. Or Trevorrow,
Anyway,
I don't know.
he did do some interesting camera work in the sequences where the super dinosaur is.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not talking about that.
I just want to say one last thing. That thing with the clone girl, dumb.
Yes, I agree. That was very dumb.
And it ruined the whole movie.
It ruined a lot of it, but I
Whole
enjoyed it.
movie.
And I still can't.
But we're not talking about that.
We're talking about
We're talking about the
Steven.
original.
a Steven Spielberg almost horror movie.
Yep, the original dinosaur movie. We're back.
A dinosaur story.
Yes.
I said it right this time. Funny story, I've always thought of that as a companion piece.
Oh my god.
It came out the same year. They advertised Jurassic Park in We're Back.
Yep.
I can't argue with that.
No, you can't. Anyway, this is one. I don't have a really interesting. I don't have an interesting story regarding this like I do with I think most of my other picks. The most interesting thing I got is that my parents brought me to see it in theaters when it was first released, which means I would have been. What? When did it come out?
93.
But like when?
I think it was a summer movie.
So I would have been like 6.
Yeah.
So my dad must have really wanted to see it.
It's a little frightening for a 6-year-old. Were you scared? I mean, now that you can remember.
Not consciously.
Yeah.
Subconsciously, I remember having dreams about Tyrannosaurus Rexes fighting in my backyard. And I distinctly remember one of them being tie-dyed. It was a trip.
That's a fever dream right there.
Maybe it was. I don't know. No, this is one of those movies. I just really love it. I don't really have a cool story. I saw it for the 20th when they redid it in 3D for the 20th anniversary. I saw that with Drew.
Oh, Drew. I miss him.
You okay with it, bud?
Just think he could be sitting in that chair to my left.
Are you okay?
I can leave.
Please stay. He can sit on your lap.
Okay.
Or you could sit on his lap.
Yeah, a little better.
I just miss him. It was nice to have another smart person on this. I'm kidding. I love you, Dickey.
I love you too.
Anyway, Jurassic Park. I think that this is one of the defining movies for the blockbuster genre.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think, but I do think that as we get higher definition, like releases of it, its age starts to show.
It shows
Mostly
a
during the
little bit,
day.
but that you beat my point. I was gonna say.
But even
yeah.
like the raptor, like when she kicks the raptor in the vent and it goes from being clearly a puppet to 3D below her, like.
I mean, there's definitely parts, but man, that big T-Rex when that comes out at night,
But that's mostly a puppet.
That's why it looks so good.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Apparently-
saying. Is the puppet parts look good, the computer animated parts do not.
Apparently,
Because
it
of
would,
their higher definition.
It would malfunction in the rain.
I hear it.
So they'd be like, they'd break for lunch, and then it'd just all of a sudden go off and scare the crap out of everybody.
I also remember. I definitely learned this in a film class. I don't know if this was like college or high school or whatnot, but they literally asked the animators to go out into the parking lot and run around like they were dinosaurs to get an idea for the movement. That's literally how.
It sounds about right.
Yeah.
Also,
Like, there's so many interesting behind-the-scenes stories about this.
and I think this is another one of my movies in particular that has been talked to death. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody's analyzed this every which way. I don't know if either of you have read the original book.
I
No.
want to.
I wouldn't recommend it. The
You said it was
movie is
pretty-
better.
He said it's kind of bland.
Yeah. By comparison, I think Michael Crichton is a much better screenplay writer than.
Yeah, he co-wrote the
A book.
screenplay or a draft. I don't remember how it worked, but he worked on the screenplay. That often happens where it's like, if they do the adaptation, they tend to change things they wish they like in hindsight are like, I should have changed that.
Kinda like-
or it's like, this is a movie now, I can make this work better. Kind of like,
The Last of Us.
I mean, that's not a movie.
It's not a
for sure.
movie, but Neil Druckmann, he went through and he changed some things that worked better on screen.
Chernobyl guy.
No, that's Craig Mazin. Craig Mazin is...
Craig
they both made it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Neil Druckmann is the founder of Naughty Dog, who made the game Last of Us. And he said there were a couple of times where he's like, oh yeah, I want to change this for the screen because it would work better. So.
Or like,
Well, then there's definitely something that I really hope they would think would work better.
I was going to say Louis Sacker. I think it's Sacker for Holes. He wrote the
I didn't
screenplay.
know he actually worked on the movie.
I wonder if when he
Really?
wrote the book, he wrote it in the sense of working as a movie, because it's one of those where every chapter cuts back and forth.
Yeah.
Perfect for me.
What book are you talking about?
Holes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
Because I go, and I probably said on this podcast before, I think I've read the book. I think the movie's better. I think it works better as a movie than a book. And the book's still good.
I think a lot of writers, and this is a tangent, I think a lot of writers imagine their books like movies as they're writing them.
Or you can be George R.R. Martin and completely give up your books when they got adapted, and he would rather work on TV instead.
Well, there's that. But no, thinking specifically of like, there's just so many instances where you read a book and it works better as a movie or it works better as a book. It never works as both.
Yeah.
But it's best to have them both exist in their own ways, because you don't want a shot-for-shot version of the book, because it doesn't work like that, because a book is a book for a reason.
Completely
And
different.
yeah, like for example, we always talk about Life of Pi. The reason the impact of Life of Pi works better as a book is because you have 300 pages and some time to know intimately what's happening.
And not dumb Jared sitting there going, oh, I
See,
get it.
but, like,
the animals actually happened.
But like, if it spoilers.
It's an old movie, just saying.
Well, you should always say spoilers.
Always spoilers. Mr.
After-
Luke and the
But
lightsaber.
after he says it,
Yeah, it was not even like a minute after he said it. I blame Dickey for the reason that I love Ahsoka more than the Mandalorian.
Anyway.
Anyway, Jurassic Park, much better movie than book, in my opinion.
Yeah, apparently
the book is a bit bloated in my opinion. Famously, there is a river sequence.
A river
that got altered and put into the third, like that part that's in the third one.
Oh yeah,
in
when
the
he
river.
that's when he
that's
calls
originally in the original. That's originally in the original book. That is in the original book.
where it's in the storm and they're sinking. But then, of course, for the third movie, he calls Ellie, right?
Yes.
And that's not in the book because she's with him, right?
I don't think so. No, she's not with him.
She's not
in
with
the
him.
book. I think they're separated at that point. I think that it's been 10 years since I read the book. I don't know. But anyway, obviously, juggernaut of a franchise, especially in the 90s. I think less so since Jurassic World came out.
Well,
But, like, there were... any kind of merch that you see in that movie was actually made and, like, sold.
And I like that they used the original... the thing you
Are you milking a cow?
No, what's the thing you...
a car.
I mean, yes.
A Jeep.
The Jeep, yeah. I like that they used the original. My brain really isn't working today, guys.
Wait, what
Oh, that's the other thing I wanted to make mention of the book. Sorry, I backtracked a little bit. I forgot. The book is also much more violent and much more of a horror thing. In the book, spoilers again, Nedry, who I don't think is called Nedry, but I don't remember.
The lawyer.
No.
Oh, who's
That
the
guy.
lawyer?
Fat guy. The one that...
Oh!
I can't. Newton. Yep,
Yeah, I was
that's
gonna say
Newton.
Newman. Yeah.
In the book, he does the same thing. He plays basically the same character. You know how he gets eaten by the Dilophosaurus? In the book, you are in the cab with him, and Michael Crichton is describing how the teeth of the Dilophosaurus, first how the acid kind of eats away at him, and then how he can feel the teeth of the dinosaur in him, and like it crunches down on his.
That's amazing.
It's something.
You're really selling the book to me. I really want to read
It's
that.
akin to Mario Puzo telling you how
Yeah.
Sonny had sex with that bridesmaid.
Yeah, about how she had his.
Yes!
And throbbing and.
Thank you, Jake.
Yeah, go into detail, please.
I was going
I did
to-
never make the connection that in the third movie that is his son. I never made that connection. Anyway, Jurassic Park.
I was going to say what I read was Spielberg was working on getting Crichton's ER book adapted into a movie, and someone had handed him, I can't remember who, if they said it was someone significant, I don't remember who, just handed him the book, and he read it, and he like instantly dropped ER to do Jurassic Park, and of course later would make ER into the series.
So, yeah.
Yep. So that was another interesting little tidbit about it.
Smart choice by him.
Spielberg
Can you
had...
imagine ER as a movie?
Yeah.
Like how that would even work? Because it's,
Just
what,
be-
30 seasons?
It's long.
Something like
it's
that?
long running. I
It
think
was
so.
like 15, I thought.
That's
Something
still
like
that's a long.
that. It's a long time.
show.
I thought it was something like that. But I was going to say how Spielberg was having a rough year making it because he finished filming and he was working on Schindler's List while this was in post because they came out the same
I
year.
heard about
And he was spending all day reliving these horrible things that he's having to film and just an entirely downer experience. Don't blame him for feeling that way.
my God,
And
no.
then at night having to be like on the phone or go and work on the post for this where it's not working. Like the
Literally.
special effects were not working for a while, and he was scared of how people are going to take it because this is a big jump for CG, and so two all-time memorable movies in the same year, but that could not have been a fun stretch of time for him to do that.
The amount of mental whiplash that you would have to go through is, and again, that's why I put him on the pedestal. I think he is the best director, is because he was able to make both of those movies. That's insane. That's such incredible talent.
I will say, I do like Spielberg.
It's hard not to.
For some. It's definitely a taste thing, because I know there are a lot of them that you don't like. Maybe not a
There's
lot of
couple.
them.
I like Spielberg. There's always some.
Yeah, there's always some.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like it's
I don't
hard.
like Ready
But like
Player One.
I do have to say I watched a few of his movies since watching the Fablemans, and I do watch those differently now.
Oh, same.
Like I was watching the background characters, just the way like when they're at the dig site, the way that the extras move when they're not in like the focus of the shot is hilariously choreographed. Like it reminded me of that Western that he films in the Fablemans. Like you can see them counting their steps. It's interesting.
He's
Also,
just naturally good at this.
I know, but that's what I was going to say. We were talking about that, that greatest director of all time thing, or what'd you call it? The Mount Rushmore of directors. Mm-hmm. I am not educated in film the way that you two are, so I'm not going to claim anything here. But I will say that, I mean, weren't we talking about it earlier, and we think that he is probably the father of modern day blockbusters?
Well, yeah, because we were saying Jaws is considered the first.
Yeah.
So it's hard to argue his influence in movies.
Oh yeah, and he produces so much too.
Oh, and like since he is the father of blockbuster films, does that not earn him a place in film history? I suppose.
Oh, of course he has a place in film history. And if he's the father, that means Dickey wants to be the mother by his side.
I absolutely would love to be Mrs. Spielberg.
Hey, you can ask Kate.
Yeah.
She'll probably say, "Who are you?"
Yeah, I'm an absolute nobody from Michigan, but I love your husband.
Yeah. Say it to the camera. Just,
Hi, you said your name is Kate?
I think it's Kate.
Okay, if your name is Kate, it's Kate Spielberg?
Or whatever she goes by.
Yeah, or whatever you go by.
I
Your
think
husband.
Is it?
He's a
Is it still the girl
man.
from Temple of Doom, or did they get divorced?
I'm checking.
I don't know. At one point...
They're still married. Yep. Kate
Okay.
Capshaw.
Kate
Or
Capshaw.
Spielberg now, yes.
Oh, yeah, Kate Capshaw. Yeah. Kate
Yeah.
Capshaw, yeah.
Yeah, she was Willie.
Yeah, she was.
Also, for the record, ER was 15 seasons.
15. What did I say?
13.
I thought I said 15.
You said 30, but you downed it.
No, he
I
said 30.
said 30.
I thought I
Oh,
said like
he
15.
He did say 15.
Oh, we did?
yeah.
Okay, well, you were right. Good job.
Hit the nail on the head.
I love ER. It's my favorite show of all time.
I mean, it's where
George Clooney.
got his start.
Yeah, and he arguably looks better now than he did then.
Yeah.
Speaking of people getting their start, you want to know what actor I saw for the first time in this movie?
Sam Jackson.
Yeah. Sam.
Really?
This was my first experience of Sam Jackson.
This wasn't his big break, though, was it?
I
don't
wouldn't
think it
guess
was
so.
his
He
big
was in
break.
stuff before this.
But like this was
Yeah,
like
Pulp Fiction before this?
What did you say?
Was Pulp Fiction before this?
No, it was a year after.
Okay.
yeah, but at least just like through my watching of his filmography, this was the first one that I can like. Oh yeah, I know who that is.
Hold on to your butts.
Like it's
Most famous line.
It's so good. I love it. Like, he's so good in this.
I like to imagine that was.
And we never saw what,
Improv.
not that we need to see, but we never saw what happened to him. We just see his arm. That's right. I always forget about the arm. We never saw what happened to him. And all we need is that arm. It's like, oh!
It's so good. That's why I love. Like they hint. They don't show it. They don't have to show it. They just show it, and you know.
Oh,
I mean, you do kind of see that Velociraptor ripping apart the hunter guy. I can never say his name
girl.
Or the lawyer on the back. That's another.
That's just funny
like
because it took forever to realize that you can see a tooth between his ass crack, or between his ass cheeks.
Oh, man.
When the Tyrannosaur bites on him, he takes him out the toilet,
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah.
When he comes up and he's in the camera and he starts shaking it, there is a tooth between his ass cheeks.
Kinky.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what
And
he was
did
thinking.
fight tooth and nail.
Speaking of that, though, we're talking about some of the I think probably most famous sequences in cinema.
Some of them, yeah, some pretty memorable ones, yeah. I was going to say that. Biting the lawyer, I remember that seeing that as a kid, but
Just
not
the
watching the whole movie.
Just the whole T-Rex thing, like the whole bit with it.
From the glass shaking, like that's such a brilliant way.
Like the goat leg coming down on it, the kid with the night vision goggles, the
cup.
cup.
Is the big one.
Yeah.
I think.
or the objects in mirror are closer than they appear.
Yeah.
Oh, that's such a good shot. I can close my eyes and I can see that shot. That's how you know you made something incredible.
The T-Rex, after he defeats the bad guys. That's right, everybody. The T-Rex is the hero of Jurassic Park.
Yes, he is. Thank you for setting the bar straight, Jake.
The T-Rex is the hero of every Jurassic Park movie.
You are damn right. That is the most accurate statement you have ever made.
Yeah.
What did I bring up to you that is like a...
How'd he
It's
get
a movie
in there?
thing. No, it's a... How do they not hear him? That thing is huge. He swoops
How did
in
he
and
get
saves
in there?
it.
Where's the door for that building?
He just smashed through. Again, why didn't we
They
hear
don't
that?
walk out through a hole. They walk out through the door.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like he probably smashed it somewhere else, but it's like we would have heard that.
Or felt that.
Also, he's running across. It would have been.
That's a
We
good
make
point.
such a big deal about when he's coming with the water and like the puddle with the footsteps. Another great way to show where he's coming, but we can't hear him come in to go to the Velociraptor.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Also, it opened a door. Everyone's been saying stuff about it for 30 years. It is pretty. I do think it's really funny. Just
What, the Velociraptors?
opening a door. Where right at no, I'm laughing about it. It's like
mean,
'cause
it's-
everyone's always complaining. It's like who cares?
It's dumb. They cloned dinosaurs from frog DNA. It's dumb. It's okay. It's okay to be dumb.
Well, you've seen the parody from The Critic, right? Where it's like where they talk about how smart they are, and it like shows the door. He from the other side and pushes the key, falls out. He puts a newspaper down, slips it under, opens the door, and goes. And he takes out a pipe and goes, yes, we velociraptors have actually constructed a crude bridge off this island to escape the storm. And it's just one of those funny
It's
movie
funny because
parodies.
that's a legitimate way people used to unlock doors.
Oh, I know. This is the joking about because they say in the movie, well, they're not smart enough to open doors. They cut to. I go, of course.
Which also leads into the I saw somebody tweet this. I don't remember who it was, or they posted it. It was a post somewhere by someone. I wish I could read them, but I can't. And it was the shot of the Velociraptor with like all the numbers and like the lights projecting onto his face. You
Yeah,
remember that?
that's the gene sequence, isn't it?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it
It's
I think they pointed
the air
out-
vent. You know what he's talking about,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I think they pointed out that doesn't make any sense as to how it would like cast onto his face all of a sudden, like and from that.
It doesn't matter. It's
but
cool.
But that's what I was gonna say though. Like the tweet says, this doesn't make any logical sense, but this shot is iconic.
Dude.
And I'm like that's this movie in a nutshell.
Dude,
it just knows how
Spielberg's
to.
control of light in this movie is
It's-
absurd.
It is literally perfection. It's perfection. It is perfection. That's the one thing I can't find a flaw in this movie.
I can, but it's my fourth favorite movie of all time. But you go on.
I just from specifically like Spielberg's job when it comes to the acting, the directing, and the blocking. Like this movie is perfect. It's perfectly directed. It's perfectly shot. Mic drop.
I remember something I read a long time ago, and I don't remember where I read it. So obviously, we got another iconic score by John Williams.
Very good.
Apparently, the reason that there's a very specific reason why it is such an earworm. In that main melody, there is a note that has a dissonance that is calculated, I guess, somehow to be an earworm. Like apparently it wouldn't make sense if it wasn't that note, or would not be as catchy if it was not that note.
So which one is it? I'm trying to listen.
I don't
Gotta be
know.
that second note that they keep going to.
I don't know if it's in that or if it's in the bum 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 bum. Da. I think it's the da 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 da. I don't know.
Okay.
It's
I
one.
just-
It's one of them.
But like, it's crazy. You can just hum that, just that's the score. Like it sends you back.
Also, just to trigger Star Wars fans, Kathleen Kennedy
Yes.
produced one of the greatest movies of all time. Star Wars nerds, you can suck it.
Kathleen Kennedy is Spielberg said this about her. She is probably one of, if not the best producers to be working in Hollywood. And she is. She's a fantastic producer. She just isn't a studio head. And I'm not going to get into too much of the Star Wars stuff. Because
I think
you know
your
I hate
suck it comment is not just Star Wars fans, but directed across the table from you.
Oh no, I completely agree with what Jake has to say.
She said,
I just don't want to get into it too much.
So there is a butt, a pretty big butt, and there's no tooth
I like
between the
big
cheeks.
The
and
butts,
this one.
and I cannot
What,
lie.
the button? The hardest button to button?
I'm simply saying she's one of the greatest producers of all time,
But there's that butt again. You and your butts.
but she just doesn't know how to run a studio. That's it. That's all I'm saying.
Is it because she's a woman, Dickey? Is that what you're
Obviously,
saying?
That's the answer here.
Oh.
Obviously.
Let's see. He only focuses on butts, and he doesn't like women. I see how this works. Shame on you. Shame. I can't even look at you anymore.
Okay.
Oh, what am I kidding? Look at that little face. I feel like there should be a little spinning, swirly top on your head, and you should have a lollipop.
I think I want to know why he thinks Kathleen Kennedy can't be the head of a studio.
Do we want to open this can of worms? We're supposed to be talking about Jurassic Park.
Studio head. I'm just saying that
She
doesn't know how to.
I know what he's gonna say.
She doesn't know how to make a overarching story between movies.
So what she's saying is, what Dickey is saying is she doesn't know how to make Star Wars the way he wants her to make Star
Telling
Wars.
her something she can't do?
She didn't have a plan.
She didn't make Star Wars the way you wanted her to make Star Wars.
I'm sorry, but when you follow up 2 trilogies with a completely discombobulated trilogy that has nothing in between the movies, that's a mistake.
I thought everything was subjective.
It is. It's a mistake to me, but a lot of people out there disagree with me, and I'm okay with that.
Okay.
It's simple.
I can see the hair coming out of your nose. You better lower it a little bit, bud.
Okay.
You know.
That's called a mustache, Jared.
Who's good at making nose trimmers? Manscaped, our sponsor for this video. You gotta trim the hedges. You got a little bit sticking out. Get our trimmers. You can stick them places and clean up.
Manscaped sponsor us, please.
I'm gonna get a bunch of stuff in the mail. My parents gonna be like, "What is this?" It's it's a razor. See, it's like ball trimmer. Yep. Face trimmer.
Yep. Because you're gonna make it as smooth as a ball.
I have actually wondered, because it's waterproof, I've wondered if I can use it on my face, or if it's specifically designed.
Not what I thought you were gonna say.
Designed
It's waterproof. I wonder if I could use it on my face.
But it's waterproof, so I could do it in the shower.
That's kind of the point.
But I want to use it on my face.
Jurassic Park.
That took a wild left turn.
Yes, it did. I was talking to Jake, everyone knows Jeff Goldblum is so funny in this.
God.
But Sam Neill also gets a lot of really funny moments. And this time around, I was laughing at a lot of his stuff too. I'm like,
Which one's got
this
you?
guy is just a goober.
Which line's got you?
Trying to because I think I kind of forgot because he brought up the raptor speech he gives to the kid at the beginning. It's like that's pretty funny. And the line Laura Dern says to him is like, "What was that? Oh, what are those?" They're like, "Oh, they're kids. They're like smaller versions of adults," or whatever she says.
They stink. They do not stink. Some kids stink.
Some kids
Babies stink.
When Tim is following him around saying, "I read your book. It's not as long as so and so's," and he what does he say? Which car are you riding in? The one you're gonna be in. And he goes to the other car. Tim gets in and he's talking. He just shuts the door.
That's such a good part.
Man, but Jeff Goldblum is kind of steals the show.
I mean, when
Gotta go
does-
fast.
I disagree.
Gotta go
I disagree.
faster.
He doesn't do anything. He just lays there and looks sexy.
That's why he
That's
steals
all
it.
you need.
And he's so funny. Because
Sex-
what is his best
What's-
line of the whole movie? He stands, he takes off his glasses and goes,
That's a big
pile
guy
of shit."
on short shit.
Yes, it is. God, that man is a national treasure.
I realized something though this watch. I never realized that he when they find him, they talk about a tourniquet, and I think, how did he put a tourniquet on himself underneath rubble, and then also not have the strength to yell, "Hey, help me," when he heard them drive up?
Physical strength and not vocal strength.
But he was able to go, and then he was somehow able to get a tourniquet on himself. Again, it's dumb. I know it's dumb. It doesn't matter.
Also,
It made me think.
Those stupid kids for having that light on so long. Getting the light out, that's just a human thing. But then they keep it on. It's like, turn it off, turn it off. I'm like,
Yeah, but like
turn the light down.
No, they need that
flip
light
it down.
on so that we get that awesome shot of the T-Rex's pupil. It's all in service of the awesome shot. So shut up.
It was just funny. I'm like, just slip it down. Just slip it down. I could do that. I could do that as like a 6-year-old.
That's part of the suspense is that like just do it, and they don't, and they're just like.
Oh my gosh.
There is
a difference between you can fix this with one little thing and like an actual good suspense scene, like climbing that wire.
Dude.
Oh my gosh.
Dude.
I don't know. Climbing the tree was pretty great too.
That is
Out of the car.
But that one where, because the car one has that ticking time bomb of the car falling, but that wire one where you're like, you know what's gonna happen, and it's like you're waiting, and she's.
Yeah, you don't actually see her. I noticed something too. You don't actually see her hit the button.
Yeah, all of a
it
sudden
cuts
Tim
before
just
she gets to it, and then
flies
just
off.
poof.
Listen, I don't mean to cut in really quick, but I don't know if this was the first time. This might have the first time I've seen this. It might have been at school, because I remember I literally remember sitting in a desk watching that sequence,
Going like
and
this.
I feel so like.
Dickie, do you have to use the bathroom? That's probably what your teacher said.
I'm like, if you like watch
Doing the
YouTube
happy
right now, I am
dance.
physically just like.
Dickie, there's a puddle forming around you.
It's so stressful. I was so stressed out.
And I think what helps is they just don't know it for most of it. They're just kind of going at it, and once the light starts going, it's like, oh my gosh.
I also think it's pretty funny, Sam Neill trying to fit through those squares.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm like,
come on, dude. You didn't even try, but there's no way.
And then I remember this time sitting there like, that's right. I remember thinking this is like textbook suspense scene. Like, it's really well done. And I'm watching it like, that's right. And I know, that's right. They wouldn't electrocute a kid. Pew! He flies off and I go, oh, that's right. Because
I wouldn't do this to a kid.
Well, the MPA is real strict on certain violence to kids. Like that.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, because it's just, pew.
Yeah.
But it was just me in the back going, oh, they wouldn't actually. Oh, they did. my history with this movie is so weird because I didn't see it growing up. I first saw it in full when I was 20.
Really? You were that old?
My only memories are I had seen what parts of it? There's something in this one because I feel like I'd seen more of the second one than the first, but hadn't seen the full movie.
That's very sad for you.
Yeah, this one, what was it? There was something in the movie that I remember seeing as a kid, but the second one, what I remember is,
but
I actually
the
thought
second
it was
one has Vince Vaughn. I mean,
That is
come
true.
on.
But it also has Julianne Moore
Yeah, it does.
and Beep Stothwaite, however you say your name.
Oh, the
He's
hunter, the other hunter guy.
And he's awesome.
Dude, it's just like you dog on the Lost World a lot, but like it's got a lot of solid
It's
stuff.
got. I think it's just kind of stiff.
Yeah, I think that the problem with any Jurassic Park ensuing the original, it just kind of devolves into the same story.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really does.
The second one, I like. I like how it's like, oh, by the way, there's another island right next door that has more dinosaurs.
That's where we
on it.
really used to breed them, except in the first movie when you walked in on our lab and we were breeding them.
That was so ridiculous.
Yeah, I just remember the scene I saw as a kid. It was on TV. I don't know if we were on vacation or something, but it was on. And the scene that like traumatized me was it's the trailer scene. You know where the trailer's dangling off the cliff?
Yeah.
And
you
the
have to
guy's
watch
trying
them
to
fall through it.
they're falling through, and then like the one guy gets into the front and he starts driving, and that's when there's another T-Rex. They both show up and they rip him in half right in front of you, and that traumatized me.
Yeah, but still, like the T-Rex is the hero of that
Absolutely.
one too.
And then the other
The baby
player,
T-Rex is ultimately the hero, but
the other thing I remembered was,
Spoilers.
which I also thought was the first movie until I saw the second movie in full a couple years ago, was the what's his name? It's a Russian guy. I can't remember. He's down by the river, and he like throws something at one of the little dinosaurs, and then like a whole like
Oh, the one with the headphones, the one that
I
goes to
think
take
so.
a pee when the dude.
Yep, and then the
and
whole like herd
headphones.
of them like run after him, and then they like attack him, and you just hear him screaming as they eat him. And I remember being a kid just freaking me out. And I'm like, so
Gompies.
that's like the only things I remember from Jurassic Park. 'Cause my parents, I'm going to guess they saw it before I was
Around.
that old.
Yeah.
Well, this is only a year before, but I don't know if they saw it in theaters. But my guess is they had seen it by the time I was getting into those younger years, and I bet you it was, this is too scary, because they're pretty sheltered about things. It's like they just didn't show it because they probably it's pretty violent. It's not super. At first, it's not super violent. It's pretty intense.
I
But
counted it, and I think only 3 or 4 people die.
Yeah.
and
I
it's
always assumed
select
it was a
scenes.
lot more of that.
And it is like there's a lot of scary stuff for a little kid without the violence, but that's just my thought as to what their mindset was is, oh, this is scary, we don't show it to them. And then you get into like high school, and I can watch it if I want, but I just didn't. And then just one day, I think I was 20, I think I bought it like a cheap DVD copy from like Walmart or something, just
Gotcha.
watched it with my
You had it in
sister.
a box set.
What?
I thought you had it in a box set.
Yeah, I gave my friend that copy when I bought the box set.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because I was like, I don't need this other copy. They're both DVDs. This one's in the box set.
This was before Jared got into his collector era.
That was my collector era. I bought a lot of box sets that year.
Nice.
Yeah, so maybe not 20, maybe like 18 or 17. Point being, though, a lot older than when a lot of people watch it.
To be fair, I watched it when I was 13 because very similar to what you were saying about your parents. My mom told me this. She told me she saw this in theaters when it came out, and it scared the crap out of her. So that she always had that remembrance, like, I'm not letting him see it before 13. So I think I was around 13 or 14 when I saw it for the first time. And
That makes sense.
yeah. It's like, 'cause it's a scary movie. I don't blame her at all.
I think I've only seen it 3 times.
Really?
The first time, then I feel like I watched it again within like a year or two, and then I had not seen it in over a decade.
Honestly, I can't even count the amount of times I've seen this movie.
Yeah, this is one that we have. My parents had a VHS of, and when I used to live with them, before my room was downstairs and like the workout equipment was down there, I'd go down there, walk on the treadmill, and I'd either put this, the Santa Claus, or Mulan on,
That's a wild pick. I love that.
or Jungle to Jungle. That too.
Jungle to Jungle.
Yeah, this was in 7th. What grade was this? 7th or 8th grade.
So
When
it was
I-
about 2008 or 9
Yeah,
for you.
when I would have had Mr.
You can say names on here?
Well, yes, he was a teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mr. Bai. His name was Mr. Bai, okay? And he was, I got him from like a technology class and like a woodchopping class. And whenever we
Did you learn anything?
Oh, actually, I actually placed a couple of my things in the woodchopping class. Like I got medals.
Placed
for it.
them where? Oh!
I got medals, yeah. So it was
Gotcha.
cool. But regardless, whenever like he didn't want to do anything or we didn't have any plans, this is the movie we watched. He always put on Jurassic Park for some reason. So I just always think of that movie when I think of his class.
We got Twister.
You got Twister? That's awesome!
I know
That's
you
why
were.
I was scared of tornadoes for most of my youth.
Well, we should still be scared of tornadoes. We had,
Yeah.
for all of you out there listening, we had one come through here not too long
I don't
before
know about
recording us.
scared.
I'm scared of
Like
it.
I was like terrified. Like if there was a storm coming, I would get knots in my stomach.
To be fair, you should also be scared of dinosaurs.
I mean, if I saw them, I'd be like, "What?"
See, here's what you do. If a dinosaur attacks you, you grab an inanimate object near you, you whack it on the head and say, "Not the mama." Not the mama. That's all you have to do.
I missed that show.
I have never watched it. I know the references, but I've never seen an episode.
Oh, you want to hear something that I put 2 and 2 together for Jurassic Park? Only like this time watching it. So I don't know. I mean, you know me. I look away at key moments in movies all the time. And we're constantly having to back stuff up so I can see what actually happened. I never remember that it goes through the opening part with Shoota!
Yeah.
So I never remember that it jumps to the lawyer guy going across that raft and talking to the the other archaeologist
in Costa
guy.
Rica, right? Was it Costa Rica?
Yeah, I believe so.
That's where he slips on the rocks, and I go, was that on purpose? I wonder if it wasn't. Anyway.
But regardless, I never realized that the conversation they're having is because the family of the dude that got eaten in the scene before is suing them. Like, I didn't understand. Like, I just never, I don't know if I never listened to it or I just never put the dots in order.
This is where
For
subtitles
real, bro. For real.
works.
You made me watch everything in subtitles now. To the point where I was watching, what was that? I watched it right after us. I watched Past Lives, right?
Yeah.
And you know that scene in the opening where it's the other angle of them in the diner.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of tracking into them, and it's got an off-screen couple talking about what these people are to each other, right? So subtitles don't come on the DVD by default. And I was trying to turn them on, but as it was happening, I was watching this, and the three characters were talking, but like these off-screen voices of off-screen people were. So I was like, is this a dubbed version of the? Oh my gosh! And then I rewound it and figured out what it was.
Yeah, subtitles fill in things like that when you realize, oh, I can actually catch everything, and because I'm seeing it too,
And
I'm
names
making
of characters, like Dogson. I never knew how to say that until watching it this time with subtitles.
Yeah. This movie also gave us another very important cornerstone of culture, the Weird Al album Alapalooza.
I was gonna say shaving cream with a bottom, or Smuggler's shaving cream bottle.
Gotcha.
Yo.
Well, the Weird Al album, it's the Jurassic Park logo, but it's his head instead of the T-Rex, and it says Alapalooza, and apparently when they released it in stores on the CD, there's a sticker on the outside that said, this is not the Jurassic Park soundtrack.
Oh my god.
Because probably a bunch of people bought it because of that. And the opening track is Jurassic Park, a parody of MacArthur Park. And one of my favorite
song.
And one of my favorite lines is, what is it? A big Tyrannosaurus ate our lawyer. Well, I suppose that proves they're really not all bad.
That's just a testament to how awesome Weird Al is, because he made a parody of that song, and that song is already kind of a song that he would write in its original form.
I've never heard of that song.
Oh,
You've never heard MacArthur Park is... What is it?
I don't know who wrote it.
Well, how does it go? MacArthur Park is something in the something.
Oh yeah.
Let the cake out in the rain.
Let the cake out in the rain. All the icing is running down.
Yeah.
But
and it took so long to bake it. I don't remember the words.
The Weird Al one is Jurassic Park is frightening in the dark. All the dinosaurs are running wild. Someone let T-Rex out of his pen. How does it go?
Oh, that's
I
another
admit
great...
these things will harm me, but because they sure don't act like Barney, and they think that I'm their dinner, not their friend.
Oh my god.
And there's a stop motion music video that even has like a little Spielberg cameo in it.
Does it really?
It's clay, so it's clay figures. So, and there's a lot of screaming in that song. Of course, it's like half the length of MacArthur Park, because that's like a 6-minute song, and Al's is like 3.5.
You know, I will say, one of Weird Al songs I know every single word to.
The saga begins.
Yeah.
I'm so...
I'm gonna say,
Wait.
I'm not surprised that you could pick that out right away.
Is it the fancy song? Is that the
What
one he's
word-
talking about?
No.
The saga begins with the Star Wars.
Oh.
A long time ago.
His second Star Wars
in a
song.
galaxy
Ah, yes.
far away.
Because you know his first Star Wars parody, right?
By the way,
Yoda!
Yeah.
MacArthur Park was written by Richard Harris.
Richard Harris. But not the actor Richard
Okay,
Harris.
I was literally about to ask that question. Wait,
It might be the actor Richard Harris. I don't know.
I don't...
Dumbledore wrote the song?
Dumbledore wrote this song.
Ooh, see that girl.
Watch that scene.
And for a correction, it is a 7.5 minute song.
7.5.
That's a long song.
And everyone hates it. And I don't know why. It's fine.
I love it. Who hates it?
Can I say that I hate it? I never even heard it.
You can't say that you hate it. You never even heard it.
Yeah, that's what I was asking.
It is the same Richard Harris.
No way, Dumbledore himself!
was first recorded
That
by...
makes 100% sense.
It was written by Jimmy Webb, and it was first recorded by that same Richard Harris. But I don't know why, but it's always put on, like, the worst songs of all time list.
Why?
I don't know. I think that's that one. It's something like that, or like it's... People hate it, and it's like, why? Hey, there goes our funding.
Yeah, we don't want
now we gotta rely on ball trimmers. Which, by the way, if you get a free one if you subscribe with
if
code
you get the
name,
Manscaped,
code
actually
name
by this point it's probably
Offslate.
7.0. It's probably got like use code OFFSLATE when checking out at Target.
When you're checking out at Target. Another sponsor of the show. Oh God.
Jurassic Park is frightening in the dark.
Another thing that I really love about it, again, I could go on and on about scenes and scenes and scenes.
I could go on and on. I could explain every nutshell thing now. Sorry.
Yeah, that's pretty much true. It's really stupid though, but like when the T-Rex breaks the cables, the way that they just
snap.
Oh,
yeah.
And the
Well, it's because they're
noise-
supposed to be high voltage.
I know.
And the noise that they make.
Also, so my dad worked in auto glass all of his life, actually. And so I know a bit about auto glass. And so I don't think that glass on the roof of the Jeep is laminated that way. And so what would actually happen when the T-Rex put his snoot on that?
Snoot?
Yeah. Snoot.
Snoot.
Like boop the snoot.
Yeah,
Snoot McNary.
definitely.
Like boop the snoot.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a cute little snoot.
You boop the
You just
snoot.
want to boop it.
Was it? It wasn't plexiglass though.
No. That if it's made like any other tempered glass in a sunroof like that, it would shatter into tiny little balls.
Oh, interesting. So your dad watches this movie, and out of every single thing to comment on, all he says, "That wouldn't happen." And it's the one thing he says. It's like that Letterboxd review or whoever about The Irishman, where it's like I watched this with my dad, and the only time he said anything was at the beginning when D.H. Pesci and De Niro look down and go, trying to fix the truck. My dad goes, "It's probably the carburetor," or something like that. It's like 3.5 hour movie. It's the only thing he says.
Let's also not forget I'm just remembering internet memes now posted about this. The guy at oh my God, I'm blanking on so during the credits, it has a specific credit for dinosaur supervisor, and it gave whatever name was the said dinosaur supervisor, and said so someone took a picture of that and said, "Wow, this guy did a really bad job on this." Because he was
fair.
Yeah.
It's fair. It's fair.
Classic. All right, guys. Anything else about this monumental, extraordinarily wonderful film? I don't know why.
Do you think the idea is that what's it called?
Jurassic Park.
Amber that they dug with the mosquito out in the beginning of the movie is the same one that's on his cane?
I think that's the first one, isn't it? And then they found another one or something.
I don't know. I was trying to. I'm sure I've read about it.
Because it couldn't be, because they talk about the lawyer going there and they find that mosquito in the thing. So the park's already existed. So I wonder if the first one they found is on his cane and then they found another one. Because that lawyer's talking to him about the case and about the family and about, we have to have experts sign off. So I doubt they would have pulled that out of a mine and then turned that into his cane right away instead of use it. But still, it's a cool cane.
Oh, it's a great game.
Yeah.
Richard Attenborough is really good in this. I mean, he delivers the "Welcome to Jurassic Park." He's got one of my favorite moments of the movie where he's on the phone with Alan, and that's when they're shooting at the raptors, and you hear the and he goes always makes me laugh.
You know how I hear words now, right? I always thought for some reason he said John, and I was very confused.
I'm like, well, I don't know who John is, but also it's just a funny moment of just going from calm to. I miss him. He's been gone for like 10 years now.
Wow.
But his brother is still alive. David Attenborough.
I was about to ask, is he actually related to... Yeah.
I believe they are
That's
brothers.
wild. I did not know.
But
they were
David's like 97 or something, isn't he? He's up like...
Dude, he's still got stuff coming
Still
out.
still
He's
narrating.
Making. Like, that's amazing. Those Attenboroughs, man, they're troopers.
Yeah. But Richard Attenborough, I always forget about the Scottish accent. I don't know why. Because, like, the one line here is the welcome to Jurassic Park. And then when you're watching the movie, it's like, oh, yeah, that's right. He's got that big Scottish accent going on.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and he's in their trailer at the dig site. Then Laura Dern just bursts in. All right, who's the jerk? And then there's a quick moment again with the subtitles where while he's talking, you hear, did I say
He
jerk?
is David Attenborough's brother.
Younger brother, right? David is the older brother, I'm saying.
So he was born in August of 1923.
Ooh, when was Richard born?
That is Richard.
Oh, when was David born?
David was born in... David is younger.
David's younger. Oh,
May of 1926.
okay, yeah, so about 97. Then
My
Richard
God.
then would have been about 100 this year.
That's
Actor
amazing.
turned director as well.
Which actually, I want to give a
Didn't
quick...
he direct the Elizabeth movie?
No. That was... I gotta look that up. It's not... It's someone who I... What is his name?
Well, I looked
But
that up.
Richard's done, like, Gandhi,
Mm.
Young Winston, and... Oh, there's more that I'm not thinking of. But-
Someone... Oh, man, I gotta know.
While I looked it up, I want to give a quick shout out to David Attenborough. Season 2 or part 2 of his Apple TV show. I'm blanking out what the name. It just fell out of my head. But him and Jon Favreau worked on it brought I think it's prehistoric Earth or something of that nature.
Is it like Walking with Dinosaurs? Because I hope they talk and they're funny.
No.
Oh,
Like
well, no thanks.
they
He is
tried.
in Elizabeth, by the way.
What?
He's in Elizabeth.
Who directed it?
I just had the name Shakar Kapoor.
Okay.
Kapoor.
Yeah, they work on trying to. They use it's really nice VFX, and they recreate dinosaurs about what they think they would look like and how they would act. It's a really cool show.
Is it just Jurassic Park?
No, it's actually
No, it's like Dinosaur, where you have the love
Oh
monkey.
my god, that dinosaur is.
You know why Dinosaur looks the way it does? Because they blew all their money for animation on that opening, 15 minutes.
That does not surprise me.
And why is that score so good? That
Why is that
score
movie
is so
why
good,
is
and
that
that movie
movie
is
is-
so.
No, why is the movie as good as it is? It's The Land Before Time, but with computers.
Not
And
as-
monkeys.
and with monkeys.
The love monkey.
Also, I will have you know that movie has given Sam, my girlfriend, one of the most reoccurring nightmares from her childhood ever.
Was it about the monkeys?
It was not about the monkeys, but it was. I think she's I'm trying to remember. She told me this. She tells me this all the time, and I always forget it. Is that she was on there, she was talking with dinosaurs when the meteorite was coming down. It was
No, it's
all-
Walking with Dinosaurs. Thank you.
Right, obviously, but yeah, that movie alone gave her nightmares for years.
Dinosaur.
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 Yep,
Disney's
that one.
Dinosaur.
That one. Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah. Again, that's the one where I lost my McDonald's toy. I told it on this podcast before at some
yeah.
point. I don't remember when.
Did we cover Dinosaur for some reason?
No, I was talking.
Did we
about
talk about it in the context of it being The Land Before Time?
Probably. I actually don't remember when I said it, but yeah. So that's what I remember about Dinosaur.
Oh, the Attenboroughs have a third brother.
What's his name?
John.
That's who John is. He was on the phone with his brother. He's like, Richard, I'm going to borrow your mower. And he's like, John, don't borrow my mower. He's like, why are you talking in that accent? And he goes, I'm filming a movie. It's method acting. And he goes, well, I'm taking your mower. John! And Spielberg goes, cut. Great. And they go, what? There you go. Let's print it.
See, you say that and you joke, but I swear he
Probably
said
was.
John.
He's yelling at John about borrowing his mower.
Oh, I do have another thing. So the hacker girl, I don't remember her name.
Just Hacker Girl. Just use that. That works.
Lex. And this point has been talked to death. That is not what Linux looks like.
Listen, it didn't. That's not
It is
the
a-
point. That
It is a
not the
three.
point.
It is like a computer. It looks like a computer system that is designed by someone that thinks they know what computers are going to look like
Yes.
in 20 years.
Absolutely.
Funny story. That's not what they look like.
What?
But
Jake,
it
are you
isn't.
telling me
It
that's
is an
not-
interesting visual representation of a very simplistic file system.
And also, just like real computers, it moved really slow to give more suspense. But that is probably how computers ran.
Oh,
See,
especially back
I
in
gotta
the
find
90s,
it in this 3D space because that's how files are laid out in the future.
When she's like, "Here's the security," it's going. You're like, oh my gosh! It's like those old movies. It's like,
Dude.
zoom in on that.
Enhance.
The
Enhanced.
gamers would be complaining because it's like 2 frames a second. It's like Doom. Duke Nukem. There we go. That's a
Yeah.
better one.
Yeah.
Doom, the movie with the Rock.
Oh my god.
Yes, the movie with The Rock. You know, I saw a clip the other day on Facebook that was The Rock and Kevin Hart slapping each other with tortillas.
I love those two. They have the best friendship ever.
When did Kevin Hart get so buff?
He's always been buff. He's just
Has
so
he
little.
really?
He's just so little.
Man, he looked like a beast.
Compared to The Rock?
No, he looked tiny compared. I was pretty sure that when The Rock slapped him with that tortilla, his head was gonna pop off.
What was that? Central Intelligence. That's the movie they're in.
They're together in that.
Where you have like fat Wayne Johnson,
Yeah.
Dwayne Johnson.
I haven't seen all of it, but I've seen parts, and I know
Yeah.
that's exactly what you're
Yeah,
referring to.
I don't want to watch it.
Yeah, that's fair.
I know you do.
It's entertaining. Like I said, I truly love those two's chemistry. It is truly entertaining. It truly is.
Yeah, they should be in the next reboot of Jurassic Park.
They should
Are
be.
you kidding? I would watch the hell out of that.
I know, and
They
they go
should
back
be.
to the second island and they just ride dinosaurs.
They should be in a reboot of Jumanji. Oh wait.
Oh yeah.
Speaking
But
of,
if it was another Jurassic Park movie, that's another jungle movie for The Rock.
he's been around the-
Another
He's already
one.
done the trilogy, buddy.
The trilogy.
His unofficial jungle trilogy.
There's more than 3 though.
Is there?
Well, there's 2 Jumanji movies,
Well-
and they're in the jungle for a section of Red Notice.
he
You
did-
don't count. No one counts Red Notice.
They were in the jungle.
No one counts
And then there's
Red Notice.
Rampage.
that Journey to the Center of the Earth. That
That's-
he was,
Was
in.
that The Rock?
Yeah. he's
The
in one.
second one, Journey to the Mysterious Isles. That's 5 movies where at one point he's in the jungle.
At one point.
Yeah, the end of Red Notice is in the jungle.
What if he just showed up in King Kong?
That'd be pretty great, honestly. Is he
He's not
fighting?
in King Kong,
I
but
wish
he
he
should
was.
be.
Is he fighting King Kong?
He
I would
should.
watch that.
Right? I would watch the heck out of that.
I'd watch him fight Mechagodzilla.
Oh my god.
Got it. The
Not-
next MonsterVerse movie is Jabroni Island.
I would watch that so hard.
And then he, at one part, Kevin Hart's in it, of course. And
Oh,
he's
it has
making
to be.
breakfast. Kevin Hart wakes up after getting like thrown into a wall by Kong or something. He goes, "So I smell breakfast? Yeah. Do you smell what I'm cooking?" And he does the eyebrow.
Oh
thing.
yeah.
I can't do it like
yeah,
you
I wish I
did.
could do that. Do you
Yes.
smell it? Anyway,
Oh yeah, real quick. So you didn't see it, but Dominion. B.D. Wong shows back up as the same character.
He's in every movie.
Right?
It's the same character.
I don't
What
remember
are
him.
you talking about?
Wu, Dr. Wu. I don't remember him in any of the other movies.
He's in all of them.
I don't remember him at all. Because when he showed up, I go, "Oh, that's B.D. Wong. Oh, this is a pre-established character, isn't it?" I don't remember him in any of the other movies. Because in Jurassic Park, he's in basically one
I was
scene.
gonna say he's barely in that movie.
But
He's like the ultimate villain of the series.
he's not in all of them. He's in all 3 of the Jurassic Worlds.
Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah. Also, you want to talk about connections? He's also in another movie you watched while you were on the treadmill.
That's such a random
Mulan?
connection.
Yeah, he was Shang. Mm-hmm. Shang's cool.
Hell yeah, he is.
Let's get down to business to defeat
The
the Huns. You want to talk about a movie that they pillaged?
And blundered. Yes.
Well, is there anything else about Jurassic Park that we haven't mentioned yet?
I just think very, very good. Ages very well, and there's a good reason why the sequels and the reboots don't work very well, because it's just the same thing but worse.
Yeah, I truly think, obviously, when it made as much money as it did, here comes more. But it was probably always designed to be a one-off.
And it's just like...
I don't know, didn't Spielberg do The Lost World?
He did.
Well, he did, but I can't imagine... I mean, maybe...
But he's probably producer on all the rest of them, too, because it is kind of his thing. But it is kind of like...
He's a producer, so he signs off a couple papers.
Yeah, and I think people have memed it already, but it's just like what Malcolm said about making all those things. Like, it's not if you could, it's if you should. That whole thing, it's like... Yeah, that was my thing. Like, that first one, it's like... I get that Hammond is so into this. It's like, yeah, he did kind of just play God without thinking about the consequences. And I do like Malcolm's whole thing of like, so he was saying how you just took what someone had and you just took their work and you just ran with it. You didn't think about the consequences. And then I thought, yeah, like the first movie, I get. But then every subsequent movie, it's like.
But it's not him in the subsequent movies.
No, I'm saying for everyone else, it's like, this is a terrible idea. Why would you do this? How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
Literally,
but he is in that third one, right? Just at the beginning.
Just at the beginning.
Okay,
because he's in the second one too. I thought
he is in the second one. I don't remember.
Maybe he's in the second one, but not in the third one.
The second, the third one just blend together, and then all the Jurassic worlds just kind of blend into each other.
They're dumb.
Everyone freaked out about. That was the thing when he said the fan base had waned. That first Jurassic World made a lot of money. People love it. And I watched it the night before I went to see the second one, and I'm watching it like, this isn't very good.
I'll be honest, the first time sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but the first time I watched it, I did enjoy it. And then I'm subsequent views, I'm like, oh, it doesn't work.
It's because it's all built on nostalgia.
Yeah.
So it's like, we get to go here, we have updated effects, we get to actually like see the park open. Okay, all right. And then when you watch it again, you realize that kind of thing is pulled away, and you look past it and you go, that's nice.
It is pretty fun to see that lady get eaten by that big whale fish thing.
That is a great.
And everyone makes fun of Bryce Dallas Howard running in heels.
Yeah.
And it is like,
I do enjoy
why is
Bryce
she
Dallas Howard.
She's good.
They did a whole bit for, I think it was the second one, where they were trying to get Blue onto an airplane.
Yeah.
Was that an SNL thing?
I can't remember.
Was it just a bit of advertising?
Wait, is that so? When they went back to the island, but then they blew up the island. Is that what you're referring to?
No, it was like an ad campaign that was just separate from the movie, where it was them being those characters, and they were trying to take Blue on an airplane like he was a carry-on.
Oh, that was an ad. That was an ad.
And then it was like,
yeah.
Sorry, we can get him to stop. Blue, sit. Blue, sit. See, watch. He's very well trained. Blue, go beast mode.
Yeah, that
was the funniest thing. That's the only thing I remember from that second movie.
I will say, and I'm not gonna lie, you're gonna laugh when I say this, but I don't care. I cried in the second movie.
I mean, it is pretty sad seeing that Brontosaurus, whatever it is. The emotion of it is high.
I literally cried. Like that.
Well, because you're watching them run away from this thing, and there's just there's no way they're going to survive.
Yeah, and it just like that shadow, just like the essence of everything about what Jurassic Park, the original movie, is, just got wrapped up all inside of me when I was seeing that shot. I'm like, it broke me. That was a really well done scene.
Is it the first or the second Jurassic World where they're in that sphere and they go over the cliff and they're sinking?
Second one.
That was a good shot. I like that.
Basically, everything on that back on the island is fun, or that shot, and then everything
except
else.
For Chris Pratt being this close to lava.
And I remember thinking, like, I was in a class once, and the professor had pictures of lava going across the road in Hawaii that he took, and he said, like, we were like 50 feet away, and we couldn't face it. We had to get back. It's so hot, and here's Chris Pratt 2 feet away from it, just rolling, and I'm like, I get it's a movie, whatever. No, there's only so much you can.
Like, yeah, they bring dinosaurs back, okay, but this is the line.
It's like when you lava surf in movies. It's like, you know how hot that is.
Like, I've never seen anyone lava surf apart from Avatar.
One of the Tarzan direct-to-video sequel things.
Oh,
He
well,
lava surfs.
I think they did it in Shark
didn't
Boy
like-
and Lava Girl.
Well, yeah,
Well,
probably.
Shark Boy and Lava Girl is a cut above anything. So
True.
Dream, 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 dream.
well, I think we've been talking about
Yeah,
Jurassic Park for
okay.
about an hour now.
Yeah. All right, yeah. So on that note, thank you everybody for listening. This has been a great time. If you want to hear what we got going on next, Jared, where can they follow us online?
You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and the funny TikTok. And hey, listen to us on Apple, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. And hey, if it's YouTube, like, subscribe, comment, or ring our bell. And hey, make sure you check us out and what was it called? The apps. You got to like and follow or whatever on those things.
Literally
and
anywhere you listen to us, rate us.
Yeah, and go to the Groovy website.
Absolutely. And again, check out our YouTube channel. We got a really good looking stuff. Really proud of this. So yes, thank you for listening to today's fantastic episode about Jurassic Park. Jake, if you want to tease what we got, go to next. What is your third favorite movie of all time?
Third. Oh, Big Fish.
So yes, go watch Big Fish. I have to watch Big Fish because I've never seen it before. And then tune in for next week.
Fun.
So from all of us here at Austin, thank you for listening. We'll see you guys next time.
See you, Saurus.